Guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries. This solar day, evening here, wherever you are, good day, good evening, good morning. This has kind of become a week-long marathon of my acting roles, which started out to be 2 or 3 days, is now going to be 7 days. And we had television movie of the weeks and miniseries for the past 2 days. Today we're going to be talking about this is Spinal Tap, the movie. And then we're going to do For Keeps. We're going to do my first TV movie. And then I'm going to dive into all the commercials I did when I was a kid, which is actually, I can't wait for that show. So, Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap, commonly or affectionately referred to as Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap, as you know, Google it, starred Mike McKean and a bunch of other folks. And it was an improvisational sort of docu-comedy, about a rock band, an imaginary rock band. And so, like I said, you need to Google it. I mean, it's off the cuff. It's a very off the cuff movie, hugely popular as a comedy, and definitely, I would say, considered a cult film now. So, this was supposed to be my big movie break after E.T. Okay, this is the first movie that I did post E.T. You can tell when you look at the clip, I look, very, very freshly E.T., quite young, despite how I'm made up, which I'll tell you in a second. So, my big break, I do this, and I still have the agents I had that I hadn't yet moved to because of my big break. I got away from my big break here in Spinal Tap here. So suddenly my agent saw it. Okay, usually it's the actors, but she saw it and she had to call me and break the news to me. I said, "Well, how was it?" Uh, or something. How was I, or whatever? Was I? How was I in it? Something like that. And she goes, "You weren't." And then, like, okay, well, that's all I need to hear from you. I don't need to know why, because I don't listen to y'all anyway. Or if you're smart, you don't. Uh, so apparently I ended up in the bonus features. You know how I wasn't in the screen release, but when they did the DVD, they have bonus features, and my whole scene is like the bonus feature, because, I'm like his son, long lost son, whatever. So, there was like two sets, the dressing room, backstage, and then further backstage. So it was like three different sets, and it was quite a long sequence that didn't make it into the film, but it's an improvisational film, which I'll talk about later. So not making it in is kind of not like having a scene cut out like it would normally be. It's just that piece of improv didn't really fit in for whatever reason. Totally different, for sure different. So I didn't, and I only ended up in this bonus feature, which I didn't get paid for. I mean, my God, it's like I see it in the release DVD anniversary, whatever the hell, and I'm like, and I call the studio. I'm like, I never got a call on this. I'm like, okay, and I get $300, whatever. Slaughter Princess at work again, huh? So I didn't end up in the I. It's like I'm in it, but I'm not in it. The bonus features and people have seen it, but I don't know where the hell to see it. I had to see it on somebody's anniversary, whatever. I don't know what it was, but I did see it twice. So all my wardrobe, as always, gets used in it. Heads up, ET. It's the same wardrobe I had on that audition. In fact, it's the same scarf, if you see the film, in Spinal Tap that I wore on the audition for E.T. Interesting. It's a muffler, striped muffler. Wore it a lot. My bad boy days. Maybe it had weird juju. So at least this time also is a little horrifying because they come at me with Brill cream and they slick what hair I had back tight to my head and then create this faux hawk, this spiky blade on my head. And then they spray painted silver when, the hip part of the 14, I'm like, Earth 15, whatever. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. No silver spray paint, please. Anyway, I end up with this very heavily sprayed mohawk, looking very young in all of my duds, my usual duds. I'm like I was whatever, wardrobe consultant for Valley Girl. almost all Hollywood. I did all that Hollywood shit. Anyway, um, so, I mean, like I said, I got so used to my own wardrobe being used. It was no biggie. This was just the beginning. I mean, I worked with this bitchy queen director, um, and I was never scuzzy enough. Oh, that's right. He used to say more scuzzy, more dirt. I, of course, was playing the bad boy again. This time, like snorting drugs and you know, like driving, into a hit and run accident and injuries and everything. In, in that one, he wanted me so scuzzy. And poor Mary was all like, was telling the wardrobe people, more dirt, more dirt. I already had like this filthy rat t shirt, the band. And then my hair wasn't dirty enough. So it was like, more dirt. And I mean, I was like, got chunks of fucking dirt in my in my hair. I'm sorry. Anyway, so enough of that. So Rob Reiner though was amazing. He was an awesome guy to work with. I mean, he was like practically welcomed me onto the set. He was there before I knew it. I was such a fan of him as a comedic actor. And I just felt honored for that alone. But he had a way of engaging you that really made you feel special, like that he wanted you to be there, that you were talented. He wanted you to be there because you were talented. I felt that vibe off of him. I will never forget it. Thank you, Rob. But he loved what I did also, because this was not totally improv, this movie. So, script and all, there was like no script. It was just a big long paragraph. And so I figured, okay, I come from a background or two, and it's strictly improv. So he throws me into the scene as Michael McKean, star, his long lost son. Michael McKean plays this British rock star. I'm long lost son, whatever. So I'm there, and he's there, and the movie's improv. I'm like, mm-hmm. And so we start the scene, and I show up, and the mother lives somewhere, and I live somewhere, and he lives somewhere, whatever. And then I throw in the mix that my mom's a lesbian now. And Rob flipped. I mean, you could see him behind the camera like gasp. And it threw Michael McKean off his game for a second. I can promise you, he just for a moment, that brief moment of improv, uh, just completely threw him off his game for just a moment, because then he has to play off of the lesbian thing. Then how do you go with what you intended when someone throws you a red herring like that? So what have I been saying about improv? What I've been saying is that what if you end up in that scenario with Rob Reiner, who throws you in to the sharks and says, now improv this half-hour scene. I'm telling you guys, what have I been saying about improv? Why that? You think that if you weren't familiar with improv or well-versed or even practiced in improv, not knowing and showing up on a set, carrying a film in a movie that long, completely improvisational, that is trial by fire, you guys. So I'm telling you, like I've told you before, and I'll keep telling you, skip the acting classes. We'll get into that in about a week. But like I've been saying, take an improvisational class tomorrow. You will thank me for it. I promise you will. And I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. And had you been thrown in that scenario with no improv experience and had to carry 20 minutes of that film, and then you fly out with the lesbian thing, and it throws him off his game, but in the best of ways. Because kind of, isn't that the point of improv? Is not to one up the person, but kind of to throw them off their game. Because that's the whole point of improv, is to take, it's directionless. You just follow what's in front of you. And like I said, do what's in front of you. Talk, listen, think, and focus. That's all you really do. So improv really gets to the heart of that. So that's what I say. If you want to carry a movie, you want to be thrown onto a set suddenly with Rob Reiner and shine, know your improv. Okay. Well, I don't know where we're at, but I try to keep them about 10 minutes nowadays, since I flood you with all these shows. But like I said, this is part of a week-long series, so we covered most of Spinal Tap. I don't remember the interview very much, none of that. I just remember showing up on the set. Uh, so yeah, it was cool, and Rob was amazing. Thank you, and thank you for being with me as always, and putting up with my stories. And we got a good week ahead. We've covered two. We got one tonight. And we got another. I don't know, four. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.